Donald Trump approves Biafra international passport. This is a great achievement for Biafrans. The United States of America has officially recognized and approved the international passport of the United State of Biafra, USB, marking a significant milestone for the movement. The Biafra movement is establishing an administrative office in Washington, D.C., near the White House, to strengthen its political presence and legitimacy. A key meeting took place between Biafran representatives and U.S. political figures, including Eleanor Norton, a Congress member representing the District of Columbia, to discuss passport recognition. The Biafra movement fulfilled all necessary requirements for the passport to gain international recognition, leading to its formal approval. The United State of Biafra International Passport, which is red with the USB coat of arms, will soon be available for application to citizens worldwide, with designated service points for inquiries and processing. The movement chose Washington, D.C. for its administrative office to be closer to key U.S. political leaders and decision-makers. Unfortunately, the Deputy Prime Minister of the United State of Biafra, Dr. Ngozi Oruwabeze, had her Twitter X account suspended due to alleged violations, sparking controversy and ongoing investigations. The United State of Biafra government is working to set up embassies in multiple countries, including the USA, South Africa, Finland, and Japan, to further solidify its global presence. In a surprising and historic turn of events, the international community has witnessed a significant milestone in the journey of the Biafra movement. The recent approval of the international passport for the United State of Biafra by the former President of the United States of America, Donald John Trump, has set off a series of reactions from various corners of the globe. I have always been intrigued by how national identity, political aspirations, and international recognition can intertwine to shape the destiny of a people, and this event brings that interplay vividly to life. It is a story of ambition, persistence, controversy, and hope. A story that reaches far beyond the borders of a single nation or political movement. The roots of the Biafra movement stretch back decades, embedded in a history of cultural pride and the struggle for self-determination. The movement, which seeks recognition for a region historically known as Biafra, has long been a subject of intense debate among political leaders, scholars, and the citizens who carry the dream of an independent identity. The recent approval of the international passport by Donald John Trump is seen by many as the culmination of years of effort and negotiation, a signal that the aspirations of the Biafran people might finally be heard on the global stage. This passport, which proudly bears a red cover adorned with the emblem of the United State of Biafra, is more than just a travel document. It represents the formal recognition of a community's right to self-identify and engage with the world as equals. The journey toward this approval was not a simple or straightforward one. It began with a bold step taken by the leaders of the United State of Biafra when they announced the inauguration of an administrative office in Washington, District of Columbia, a decision that was as strategic as it was symbolic. Establishing this office near the heart of American political power, close to the White House and the epicenter of United States decision-making, underscored the movement's desire to be taken seriously by global leaders. On the 26th of February in the year 2025, the United State of Biafra government made a public declaration of its intent to build an administrative structure that would serve as a diplomatic hub. This announcement was a clear signal to the international community that the Biafra movement was entering a new phase of organized, politically engaged activism. I find it particularly interesting to note how the movement leveraged this administrative move to further its objectives. Within hours of the announcement, key representatives from the United State of Biafra were engaged in discussions with influential American political figures. One notable meeting took place with Congress member Eleanor Norton, a respected lawmaker representing the District of Columbia. The meeting was convened to discuss the specifics of recognizing the United State of Biafra's international passport. It was a critical juncture where the movement had to demonstrate that it had met all of the stringent requirements necessary for international recognition. During this meeting, every detail was scrutinized, and it soon became apparent that the leaders of the Biafra movement had left no stone unturned in their preparations. The passport itself is a piece of symbolic art as much as it is a functional document. With its striking red cover and the emblematic coat of arms of the United State of Biafra emblazoned on the front, the passport is designed to instill a sense of pride among its holders. The choice of red, a color often associated with passion, determination, and revolution, reflects the long and arduous journey of the Biafran people. It is a document that will soon be available to citizens across the globe, and its design carries with it the weight of historical struggle and the promise of a new beginning. For many supporters of the movement, the passport is a tangible representation of recognition, a stamp of legitimacy that signals to the world that the United State of Biafra is a serious political entity. The discussions that took place in Washington, District of Columbia, were not merely ceremonial. They were substantive negotiations that covered a range of issues, from legal and administrative technicalities to the broader implications of international recognition. The meeting between the United State of Biafra representatives and Congress member Eleanor Norton was a turning point. During this dialogue, the United States government, which has long been considered the most powerful nation on the planet, made it clear that it was prepared to support the aspirations of the Biafran people, at least in the realm of international travel documentation. The meeting underscored that the United States of America, through the decisions made in its highest echelons of power, was willing to offer a form of recognition that had eluded the movement for so long. This decision to approve the international passport is seen by many as an important step toward gaining broader international legitimacy. In a world where the power of symbolism and documentation cannot be underestimated, the passport becomes a powerful tool. It is more than just a means of traveling from one country to another. It is an assertion of identity and sovereignty. The passport's imminent availability to citizens of the United State of Biafra marks a moment of transformation for the movement. It opens up new opportunities for travel, business, and diplomatic engagement, allowing the Biafran people to present themselves on the world stage with a document that is recognized and respected by one of the world's leading nations. Yet, like any historical moment, this achievement has not been without its share of controversy. Not long after the announcement, the movement was shaken by news that the Deputy Prime Minister of the United State of Biafra, Dr. Ngozi Orubueze, had her social media account suspended on Twitter, a platform now known simply as X. The suspension, reportedly due to alleged violations of platform rules, sparked a flurry of speculation and concern among observers. Dr. Ngozi Orubueze, whose contributions to the movement have been significant, now finds herself at the center of a debate that has cast a shadow over the otherwise triumphant narrative. The incident has raised questions about freedom of expression, the role of social media in political activism, and the challenges faced by political movements in maintaining a coherent public presence in the digital age. The suspension of Dr. Ngozi Orubueze's account is a reminder that even as movements gain formal recognition through documents like the international passport, they must also contend with the unpredictable nature of modern communication platforms. In an era when social media plays an increasingly vital role in shaping public opinion, a single account suspension can have outsized ramifications. For the United State of Biafra, this incident is both a personal and political setback. It has ignited investigations into the nature of the alleged violations and raised the specter of censorship at a time when the movement's achievements should be celebrated without distraction. Despite this setback, the leaders of the movement remain determined to press forward, recognizing that any challenge faced along the way only adds to the resilience and resolve of their cause. As the news of the passport's approval reverberated through international media, the leaders of the United State of Biafra wasted no time in announcing plans to expand their diplomatic presence. There are ambitious plans underway to establish embassies in several key countries, including the United States of America, the Republic of South Africa, the Republic of Finland, and Japan. The establishment of these embassies is not merely a bureaucratic exercise. It is a strategic effort to solidify the movement's standing on the global stage. For many in the Biafran community, the idea of having official diplomatic missions in some of the world's most influential countries is a dream come true. It signifies that their struggle for recognition is being acknowledged not just through a passport, but also through tangible representations of statehood in the form of embassies. In reflecting on the broader implications of this decision, it is important to consider the historical context. The struggle for self-determination has been a recurring theme in global politics. For centuries, peoples around the world have fought for the right to define their own destinies, to assert their unique identities, and to gain recognition as distinct political entities. The Biafra movement, with its deep cultural roots and historical grievances, is part of that long tradition. The decision by Donald John Trump to approve the international passport is a landmark event that joins a long list of moments when the international community has acknowledged the legitimacy of a people's aspirations. It is a reminder that the power of symbols, such as passports and embassies, can transcend mere administrative functions and become the embodiment of hope and determination. The story of the United State of Biafra is one that resonates on many levels. It is a story of a community that has long felt marginalized, of a movement that has persevered despite obstacles, and of leaders who are willing to engage with the complex realities of international diplomacy. The decision to open an administrative office in Washington, District of Columbia, speaks volumes about the movement's strategy. By positioning itself in the vicinity of the White House and the centers of American political power, the movement is sending a clear message. It is here to be heard, and it is ready to engage with the global order on its own terms. This calculated move is not only about proximity, but also about creating an environment where high-level discussions can take place in real time. It is about being in the right place at the right time to seize opportunities and to assert one's rights in a world that is often unyielding. I find that what makes this development truly remarkable is not just the approval of a passport, but the way it encapsulates the evolution of political movements in the modern era. In previous generations, the struggle for recognition often involved lengthy negotiations, violent conflicts, or drawn-out debates in international forums. Today, the process can be accelerated by the judicious use of symbolism, digital communication, and strategic positioning. The United State of Biafra's achievement is a case in point. By fulfilling all the necessary requirements for international recognition, the movement was able to secure a decision that many thought was beyond reach. The passport, with its vivid red cover and proud coat of arms, stands as a testament to what can be achieved when a people come together with a clear vision and an unyielding determination. The conversation that took place between the United States of Biafra representatives and Congress member Eleanor Norton is worth revisiting because it highlights the importance of dialogue and negotiation in modern politics. In a time when political polarization often dominates headlines, this meeting served as an example of how differing viewpoints can come together to achieve a common goal. Eleanor Norton, known for her commitment to representing the interests of her constituents in the District of Columbia, listened carefully to the arguments put forth by the Biafra delegation. She weighed the legal, diplomatic and humanitarian aspects of their request, and ultimately, her support played a crucial role in the passport's approval. It is a reminder that even in the most contentious political environments, there is room for reasoned debate and constructive engagement. The approval of the international passport by Donald John Trump is also significant from the perspective of international law and diplomacy. A passport is a document that not only facilitates travel, but also confers a certain status upon its holder. In the case of the United State of Biafra, the passport is a symbol of national identity, a declaration that the Biafran people have a recognized entity that is capable of participating in the international community. This achievement is likely to have far-reaching implications. For one, it could pave the way for the movement to establish formal diplomatic relations with other nations. The opening of embassies in countries such as the United States of America, the Republic of South Africa, the Republic of Finland, and Japan is a logical next step. These embassies would serve as bridges between the United State of Biafra and the rest of the world, facilitating trade, cultural exchange, and political dialogue. They would also provide a platform for the Biafran government to articulate its positions on issues of international importance and to advocate for the rights of its citizens on a global scale. In addition to the diplomatic and legal ramifications, the news of the passport's approval has had a profound emotional impact on the Biafran community. For many individuals, the struggle for recognition has been a long and painful journey, marked by setbacks and disappointments. The passport represents a beacon of hope, a tangible sign that their aspirations are finally being validated by a major world power. It is a document that carries with it the weight of history, the sacrifices of previous generations, and the promise of a better future. When a person holds the United State of Biafra international passport, they are not merely holding a piece of paper, they are holding a symbol of their identity and their right to be recognized as a distinct nation. This is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.